Hello everyone and welcome to my page Messages from Venus, and this is a video in regards to the Moonology Oracle cards. And this is a deck that I was seeing everyone posting and talking about. These are the backs. I did my 60-second first impressions. There's no gilding on this deck, and I want to say this is a Hay House production. Let me see. Yeah, Hay House Lifestyles production. And so I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's kind of like a darkish, like black bluish, and it's like the phases of the moon. And as I talk, I'm gonna just flip the cards. But just like I said in my 60-second first impression, this deck is a very well done deck. Not only is the material of the deck very well done, but it's also a deck where you can tell the person has done their research. Why do I say that? Because other decks do not talk about the different quarters of the moon. It's always like in between the full moon and the new moon. And so I appreciate that a creator of a deck can talk about the third quarter moon and come up with a definition for the third quarter moon. This deck also includes cards for all the zodiac signs. It's like new moon for all the zodiac signs. So you have 12 new moon cards. And then you also have cards like this one, which say the blue moon. And not all oracle cards that have to do with the phases of the moon speak about the different phases of the moon, which is so fucking weird. The matte and the colors of the deck make it so much more interesting for you to watch. And it also has the depictions, like if you can see, this is Cancer. This is a full moon in Cancer, and you can see the little crab. It's absolutely fantastic. I feel like this deck is a very transformational deck, and it's also, you can use it as like learning cards if you're studying astrology. I feel like this is also a good deck where you can use for that. I didn't turn on my, like, I have my light on in my room, but it's not so bright in here. And what else can I say about this deck? The book in and of itself is very informative because it talks to you guys about yeah, the phases of the moon, but you can relate the phases of the moon to the zodiac signs, and not a lot of decks can do that. I've had other astrological decks, and one of which I recently gave away. And he considers himself a newbie reader, a newbie witch, but he's very wise for his age. So I gave him the deck, and that deck is great for beginners. I have to actually find the book now that I'm doing this review. I reminded myself I have to find the book for him. But anyway, this deck, in a nutshell, it gets very much straight to the point of what that phase of the moon is, and it doesn't give you like a long and extensive definition on the card or anything like that. It just gets straight to the point. Full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. And I also feel like this deck can give readings for any sort of situation. You just have to be in the vibe of wanting to read like an emotional reading, because this deck is an emotional deck, because it has to do with the moon. And the moon has to do with the elements of water. It moves the water. It controls the water, depending on what the phase is. And so therefore it controls our emotion and also our vision of where we need to be, where we are, etc. So relationship readings, perfect. There's some decks that they can only give certain readings. Like, for example, the Universe Has Your Back deck. That deck is good to wake up and read your affirmations and do your affirmations. It's good for like little postcards to send out to people with readings and stuff. Fantastic. But I don't know, not this deck. This deck, I mean, you can use it to give people readings and like snail mail readings and stuff, but I feel like I would never want to tear this deck apart. Or maybe I was also thinking if I do, because it is a good affirmation deck, it is, but not for me to give like readings to someone as an affirmations deck. It's more, it's a fucking oracle card. Um, that doesn't have like a series of affirmations. An affirmation is like more than one sentence. So according to me, it should be more than one sentence. I feel like if this is just, if you're giving somebody like, oh, work through your fears, that's a fucking, I don't know, you're like telling somebody something, you're demanding something. Like, Madeline, you are beautiful. I'm demanding myself to believe that I am beautiful. Gorgeous at that. I don't know. That's just my humble opinion. But anyway, this deck is absolutely beautiful and fantastic. But if I ever do use this deck as a snail mail deck, I will purchase a separate deck for that. Just like I'm going to do with the Isis Oracle. I'm going to get myself the bigger deck because I know the definitions of the cards so well that I'm going to keep the bigger deck for myself, and I'll just distribute the small deck that has the more extensive meaning of the card. So anyway, I don't know. The colors are perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Like, I have no complaints for this deck at all. I mean, I might like give it away one day, trade it, sell it, because you guys know me. I get crazy. I get bored, but it's only because I have so many. But I think this one is like near and dear to my heart. This one for sure, especially during like these times of my life and where I am becoming the moon. I'm becoming the phase. I'm becoming the full moon, and so I can either show you the truth, or your ugly truth, or your beautiful truth, and show it to myself as well. And that's been a difficult cycle for me, and also gratifying. Anyway, and this is the small little book, and it gives beautiful explanations, teachings, additional meanings to the cards, exercises on how you can connect to the card, and also the phase of the moon. So that's fantastic as well, which I love. I find that to be very nice, because people always like, oh, they see, you know, especially the newbie witches, they always see, oh, the full moon, oh, the new moon, oh, I have to do my rituals here, and they forget that there's like a whole like 2 weeks in between each one of these days, and that the phases for the full moon last 3 days, 3 or 4 days after, and for the new moon as well. And so I feel like this deck just like literally reminds you that you are no longer in a box. These are one of the decks that it's fantastic to have during this time and our intermediary time before entering the age of Aquarius, that we are no longer in the matrix. Or let's just say, for those of you that believe we live in a dome, or that we live in the matrix, which we do, but you're no longer captive to the matrix. You know, you can choose, you can have a choice to either live for yourself or live for the system, or both. You can do both. But anyway, this is a fantastic deck, and I recommend it to anyone and everyone that's either a high priestess, that's into oracle cards. This is a great deck. Some people might say that it's very basic, but it's all about what you do with the energy. If the energy doesn't vibe with you, then okay, no problem. But this deck to me is fantastic. So anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and if you could get your hands on this deck, that would be awesome. My name is Madeline, and I approve this message. All right, bye guys.